From downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Hi, Middle Georgia. I'm Greg Lloyd. Amanda Peralta has the night off, and thank you for watching WGXA News at 5:30. Well, you probably didn't need us to tell you, but it is another weather-worn day simply because of that stifling heat and humidity. It all mixes together to have those temperatures well over what's comfortable. It even goes in the dangerous range. Meteorologist Ryan Mirando joins us now to tell us if any relief, even a little bit's in sight. Ryan?
Greg, I'm counting down the hours. We have a little bit of some relief coming very shortly, but for today, it has been so hot outside. This is the current feels like temperature. It feels like 119 in Forsyth, 110 in Macon, 111 in Warner Robins. Feels like 102 in Dublin and 110 in Americus. We do have that excessive heat warning that's in place until around 8 o'clock tonight, so still stay cool for the next few hours. Now, we don't have a lot of relief in terms of any storms out there on Storm Tracker Live YouTube radar right now. That's pushing through Macon County right now, Potterville, right over towards Marshallville. You're lucky enough to get a bit of a downpour over you to knock down some of these temps. And we're watching this other storm that could be moving into Butts County and Jasper County here. So we're continuing the weather warn day for tomorrow as well with more dangerous heat with feels like temps over 110. However, I am tracking this cold front right now that's pushing through the Tennessee Valley, which will knock down some of the temperatures. I'll talk about when that gets here, all coming up in the Skywatch weather forecast. Greg.
And you could have the power of the YouTube storm tracker in the palm of your hand with the WGXA weather app. All you have to do is download our free app, scan the QR code. It'll go straight to your smartphone or smart device. Ryan's back shortly with your 10-day forecast. Continuing coverage, and right now looking at the Fulton County courthouse as they prepare for former President Trump's possible indictment. This as President Biden faces a scandal of his own ahead of the campaign. The 2024 election has a cloud of criminal investigations that seem to follow those two no matter where they go, and they're intensifying as we speak. Sinclair's chief political correspondent Scott Thuman shows us how it's affecting their White House runs.
Both men the leading candidates for their parties in 2024, and both mired in lingering legal cases that could haunt them all the way through Election Day. In Georgia, under high security, jurors met Monday to hear more evidence of potential election interference by then-President Trump, possibly leading to an indictment that would be his fourth arrest this year.
We love you, Donald!
And for President Biden, his son Hunter's saga over tax fraud and gun charges and allegations Biden took part in Hunter's overseas business deals had been widely ignored by many, especially Democrats, but has now dramatically escalated with the appointment of a special counsel.
One of your son's former business associates is claiming that you were on speakerphone a lot with them, talking business. Is that what?
Never talk business anyway. And I knew you'd have a lousy question.
Yet Hunter Biden still attending high profile on the road, while Trump seems to celebrate his own arrests at times for fundraising.
The whole thing is a fake. It was put out by Biden, and they put it out because they can't win an election the fair way.
All taking a toll. A new Gallup survey shows only 41% polled have a favorable view of either man. In fact, more Americans have a positive view of King Charles III than the U.S. leaders. And both likely to suffer more blows the longer they campaign and prosecutors pursue.
A great majority of Americans, I think, want all these cases that have such prominence with our political leaders to move transparently and to move fairly quickly.
For the candidates, maybe not quickly enough, and Biden's drama taking on new life.
I don't think we've heard the end of this story yet. The American people need to know about it. It needs to be brought forward to them, whether charges, criminal charges can be brought or not.
And we're honored to have Chief Political Correspondent Scott Thuman here tonight to share some of his expertise. And Scott, first question for you. Georgia has become a state that matters in recent years. Does this latest indictment and its connection to Georgia continue to make Georgia an important state in the upcoming election?
Oh, I think so, Greg. I mean, as you pointed out, Georgia has escalated its place in the importance when it comes to primary races, but also fundraising. The fact that it's a little bit more of a swing state in some people's eyes does allow it to be assigned a little more importance when it comes to election cycles, especially presidential ones, and we're going to see that more this time.
But I think when you look back on what we've seen in recent history in your state, with President Biden pulling it out among the narrowest of margins, but before that, it being an easy win for Trump, an easy win for Romney. There is that sort of vulnerability, Democrats believe, based even further on the fact that you have 2 U.S. senators who are Democrats who had to displace 2 sitting Republican senators, that there is that window of opportunity for them now. And I think that you're going to see more campaigning there among the general election candidates, because they know there's a lot of money to be made there, a lot of voters out there, and they're going to try and capitalize on that.
And Scott, this is another potential indictment against Trump, yet his popularity continues to soar. Is there any reason to think that the trend won't continue among Republicans in Georgia?
Well, Greg, until something breaks it, I think you're right. You stick with that pattern and believe that that's what we're going to continue to see. I mean, Trump has kind of semi-joked that he just needs a 4th indictment to secure the nomination. And who are we until we see voters and donors and support say otherwise, and the polls start to shrink for him, that he may not have some point here. It is baffling to just about every pundit that you're going to have someone not only who may very well, as we've determined, be arrested for a 4th time possibly in 1 year, who has twice lost a popular vote, who has twice been impeached, have that much strength in primary polling where no one really is even close to him. I mean, Ron DeSantis is 2nd place, but in some polls, 30 points behind.
And Scott, when do you think the political landscape will start getting more active in Georgia? And do you think we will end up becoming a destination for all the candidates?
That's a good question, Greg. You know, I mean, they're so focused on the early states, which they traditionally will spend most of their time in, talking about Iowa and New Hampshire, and then they usually set their sights on South Carolina and start to pick some of those other bellwether states, even if they may be farther down the calendar, like a Pennsylvania or Ohio. When it comes to Georgia, you know, shifting off of Super Tuesday back in 2020, we saw that there was a difference in how much attention Georgia was going to get, because they want to make sure if you are going to be the nominee, perhaps you can seal the deal on Super Tuesday. That means if you're holding your primary 3 weeks after, you're just getting scrapped sometimes. But because this is a race that is predicted to be so close in a general election, that means that even if you have secured a primary nomination, you're still going to make sure that you're seen there. There's a lot of, as I said again earlier, money to be made out of Georgia voters. The court cases highlight the state even further. There's no denying that. But I think that Georgia will continue to be a player and grow as one, especially as you know, Democrats think there's an opportunity. Republicans think that it's territory they need to defend. And nothing is necessarily as red and blue as it was once seen in some of these states. You know, purple has become the often stated, you know, category for many places that had earlier been defined with really strongly drawn lines that they were partisan. And these days, that's not always the case anymore.
All right. Well, Scott Thuman, we thank you for your time and thanks for joining us tonight.
You got it.
That brings us to our question of the day. Will the Biden and Trump scandals make you reconsider your choice for president next year? Let us know on our website and Facebook, WGXA.tv. Now to our local headlines. A high-speed chase ends in a big crash, injuring 2 teen suspects in Macon this morning. Bibb County deputies received reports of a stolen vehicle and discovered 2 teens getting inside of it at the Chevron gas station on Emory Highway. Deputies then pursued the suspects in a high-speed chase on Coliseum Drive, heading towards downtown. Once on Broadway, the suspects tried to collide several times with the deputies' vehicle. That's when deputies performed pit maneuvers, causing the suspect's car to flip over and hit a power pole, fire hydrant, and a fence. The 16-year-old driver and the 15-year-old passenger were injured in the wreck. Both are in critical condition. Bibb County deputies tonight are investigating an armed robbery at a T-Mobile store earlier today. Deputies say 2 masked men with guns walked into the store on Presidential Parkway, moving everyone to a secured area while they took multiple boxes of merchandise before leaving in a silver sedan. No one was harmed, but if you have any information, call the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. Bibb County investigators also looking for who opened fire at a Macon gas station, injuring a man over the weekend. According to the Sheriff's Office, a fight happened in the parking lot of an Eisenhower Parkway Exxon gas station Sunday afternoon. During that fight, someone took out a gun and shot a 20-year-old man. He was rushed to the hospital in a private car and is listed in critical condition. Investigators are still working to find out what caused the fight and the shooting. In Baldwin County, investigators are piecing together what happened during a shooting in the Milledgeville Manor area. It happened Saturday. Authorities haven't released many details, but say one person was injured and taken to the hospital. We'll update you as we learn more about this weekend shooting. A man is behind bars after a home invasion on Houston Lake Road in Perry yesterday. Deputies say that Jason Butler pointed a gun at an adult and a juvenile as he forced his way into the home. Butler was later arrested and found with several guns, including one that was stolen out of Pulaski County. Butler is a convicted felon that's now facing charges of home invasion, aggravated assault, and possession of a stolen gun. A family is in mourning tonight after a mom and her son died in a fatal house fire in Crawford County. Carlos Stevens talked to the family just hours after they lost their loved ones, and he joins us live now from Crawford County. Carlos, what did you find out?
Greg, Larry Jordan's mom and brother died in the fire today, and he told me when I spoke with him earlier today that him and the family are going through a range of emotions.
One moment I'm angry, the next moment I'm sad, and then I feel numb.
Numb because Larry Jordan lost his mom and brother, two treasures in the Jordan family. 80-year-old Ruth Nell Jordan and her 54-year-old son Dennis Jordan were at home when their house on Highway 42 in Musella caught fire. It happened around 5 a.m. Crawford County's fire chief says the fire was fully engulfed in flames when firefighters arrived. Once the fire was out, they found the bodies of Ruth Nell and Dennis. Larry says he's still in a state of shock.
I talked to my mom yesterday several times, and my brother, so they were here yesterday, today they're not.
A day the Jordan family never saw coming. And now Larry says it's disturbing to try and understand the situation.
The way they left here, the fire.
According to Jordan, his mom had 6 children, 7 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. And while he may be grieving, there's one thing he plans to do to keep their legacy going.
By being as close as we are right now, because that's how she would have wanted us to be.
Jordan says his family sends a message of gratitude to the community during this time.
I just want to say thanks to my whole community here in the Crawford County area, Middle Georgia area, for caring.
Now the cause of the fire is still under investigation, and the bodies will be taken to a GBI crime lab for an autopsy. For now, we're live here in Crawford County. I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA News.
A heartbreaking story there. Thank you, Carlos. And one person is in the hospital after a 3-car crash on Highway 41 in Monroe County. An SUV flipped over on its roof, throwing the driver out of the vehicle. Deputies say the SUV rear-ended a tractor-trailer before hitting another car. No one else was injured in the wreck, and there's no report right now on the driver's condition. A man is dead after being hit on a Macon road late at night, according to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. That collision happened Saturday night just before 11 on the I-475 overpass over Eisenhower Parkway. 37-year-old Wofford Bolin was hit by a Ford Mustang driven by a 19-year-old from Sparta. Deputies say Bolin was walking in the road when he was hit. The driver wasn't injured. Some traffic alerts for you. A heads up for mid-state drivers. There are a few closures and delays coming to some major roads soon, and we want to let you know about it. Part of I-16 West in Fruitland County is closed as crews begin repairs on the bridge over Pendleton Creek. Traffic on eastbound I-16 will not be impacted. The work is expected to be done by next Monday, the 21st. An 11-mile detour will be set up, taking drivers from I-16 to State Route 221, 56, then 86, onto 15 and back onto I-16. And then starting tomorrow, GDOT crews will begin nightly work on I-75 South in Monroe County. Crews are repaving the stretch of 75 between Rumble and Bunn Roads. During the repairs, 2 lanes will be closed from 7:30 at night to 5:30 the next morning. You should add more time to your drive with delays and expect slowdowns if you head that way. Some good news for your commute, though. Gas prices have taken a slight dip. Gas Buddy reports about 6 cents have dropped in Macon in the past week, making the average price per gallon of regular at $3.54, though it's still 30 cents higher than last month's prices. The national average right now is at $3.82 per gallon. To local government, in Macon, Bibb Mayor Lester Miller is proposing a significant property to your property tax cut. Mayor Miller is recommending the commission to adopt a millage rate of about 10.7, making it a reduction of around 7 mils, surpassing the initially announced 5 mil reduction. The reduction is made possible in part by the other local option sales tax, as it's facilitated a mill reduction. Commission is expected to cast their vote tomorrow. Also at tomorrow's commission meeting, the Bibb County Courthouse is expected to be approved for millions of dollars in upgrades. Commission could authorize up to $2.5 million from the 2018 SPLOST revenues that will go towards new furniture, fixtures, and equipment for new courtrooms. It will also enhance audio and video systems in multiple courtrooms and repaving for courthouse parking areas. Over in Monroe County, leaders are expected to approve changes to the Recreation Department. Commissioners will decide if a contract Tuesday will be approved that would allow Monroe County to move forward with the construction of 2 court gymnasiums at the Rec Department. The gym would be built where the horse arena is currently located. Commissioners will also consider options for the relocation of that horse arena. They hope to keep it, though, at the Rec Department. And in state news, Georgia teachers will have to avoid using so-called woke words in elementary and secondary schools starting tomorrow. The new rules delete words such as diversity, equity, and inclusion, and replaces them with phrases like fair access, opportunity, advancement for all students. This comes as other states push back on teaching diversity, like Florida's Don't Say Gay bill that prohibits discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity in schools.
And the extreme dangerous heat continues through the rest of tonight and into tomorrow. Here's what some of our current temperatures are. 94 right now in Macon and 96 in Warner Robins. When you factor in dew points, though, in the upper 70s, we have the excessive heat warning in place, with many areas feeling like they're over 110. Feels like 110 in Macon, 111 in Warner Robins, 119 in Forsyth, and it feels like 116 in Sparta. Tomorrow, likely going to be just as hot. So we do have another weather warning day issued for Tuesday as well for dangerous heat. The heat index could get up over 110. We have a heat advisory currently in effect. And remember, stay cool and hydrated. Of course, download the WGXA Skywatch weather app. It's really the best way to stay weather aware. There's not a lot of relief, though, from some of this heat. We have a few isolated storms that are out there right now. One that's moving in portions of northern Macon County right now. Quite a few lightning strikes here that just moved through Potterville, heading towards Marshallville, and a little bit farther up to the north near Butts County. We could get this cell that starts to move in towards Jackson, but really going to have a very hit or miss with any kind of rain showers for the rest of tonight. Satellite and radar, though, we're tracking this cold front right now that's associated with this spinning system, and this is going to be a cold front that pushes through, which is going to drop down our humidity very slightly, but really it's going to knock off that dangerous heat. So tomorrow, still very hot, up to 111, but Wednesday and Thursday staying below 100 degrees, but it's not very long as we get towards Friday and into next weekend. Some of that extreme caution heat begins to come back once again. And some of the stats for this, we've had now 417 hours this year of temperatures feeling like they're above 100. That's more than double in an average year for this time of the date. We've had the second most excessive heat warnings on record, and we've also recorded the highest heat index in the month of August on record also. So tomorrow was another hot day, stepping out temperatures in the upper 70s, but by lunchtime already feeling like 106, and those temperatures feeling like they're well above 110 tomorrow before some storms do arrive. By lunchtime, we're dry, but that cold front will be pushing through during the evening hours around 4 o'clock. We do get some scattered thunderstorms around that could be lingering around to around 8 o'clock or so. And we do have a risk for some severe weather. An isolated storm or two tomorrow evening could go severe. The primary threat, if we do see any of that, will be for damaging winds. Tonight, though, partly cloudy, pretty steamy night, 74 degrees the overnight low. This is 2 degrees shy of a record before more of that cooler air mass comes in place. So in your 10-day forecast, another weather warm day tomorrow, up to 98 degrees before some scattered thunderstorms in the evening. Wednesday's looking a lot better, but still hot, just seasonable heat, so much better. Some isolated storms up to 92. It feels like temperature not too far above that. Our average high is 93. Thursday and Friday, we're beginning to warm back up with a lot of sunshine. Thursday's looking better, though, less humid, 94. Friday, tons of sunshine out there, up to 96. It feels like temperatures back up into the triple digits, so it's another hot and humid weekend. We're back up into the upper 90s, 97 on Saturday, 98 on Sunday, and Monday still hot with a high up to 98 degrees. Lastly, here's your Harrison's Body Shop fishing game forecast. Peaks at 2 a.m. and 8:20 p.m.
WGXA is proud to help Middle Georgia families struggling with diaper access this summer. As a part of our local Sinclair Cares initiative, we're hosting our summer diaper drive to help out local families. You can make a difference just by scanning the QR code on your screen to make a monetary donation, or you can head to one of the 7 donation bins found at Kroger locations across Middle Georgia and Vineville Baptist Church to drop off diapers. All proceeds will stay local and benefit the Colby Center right here in Macon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gary Thigpen, and I'm here again today at Jones County Animal Services here in Jones County. I'm joined again today with Jennifer and also Jacqueline. And guess who we have to tell you about today?
Today we have Spot.
Look at that beautiful face on Spot.
He is a bulldog mix. He's around 4 or 5 months of age. Very playful.
Very sweet too.
He loves to talk to you. You can talk with him, and he'll just talk all day long back to you.
Look how sweet he is.
Recently, Jackie was able to teach him how to sit and shake, so he's learning to do that. He's a good boy.
He is. Look how sweet and how calm he is.
He is cat friendly.
Oh, cat friendly. That's a deal breaker right there for many people. So you saw he was full of energy at first, so he'd be good with the kids. But look at this, how calm and sweet he is now. So Jennifer, if someone would like to adopt Spot, how would they do that?
Come to our office, which is located at 1015 Monticello Highway, and we will get all the paperwork set and get him in his new home. He would love to have one.
He would love to have one. He deserves to get one. So let's go ahead and take care of that today. Let's find Spot a really good home. Thank you, Jennifer and Jacqueline.
Thank you.
Well, 2 mega-rich entrepreneurs may not have an epic slugfest after all. Mark Zuckerberg says there isn't going to be a cage fight match with Elon Musk. Zuckerberg says that Musk hasn't been serious about the charity-oriented bout, and it's time to move on. But if Musk turns serious, Zuckerberg says he can give him a call. Musk proposed the fight would be streamed on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Why did he do that, 1? But 2, I was kind of excited to see what was going to happen. I mean, there was really no downsides for them, like, fighting. It could be fake or whatever. They can, like, do a WWE moment, make a lot of money for charity, get a lot of eyes for X, Twitter, Facebook, and Meta. I mean, didn't see any of it.
I just got to tell you this, though.
Okay.
I know for charity, I would love for charity to get money. But other than that, I just don't care. That is like the least thing that I care about. If that is all I had to worry about is whether those 2 guys are going to do a cage fight, I would be a happy human being.
So is this a Sue Simmons moment then?
I don't give a zuck about it. Okay? And I said zuck, as in Zuckerberg.
Okay.
That's where it says Zuck versus Musk, right here.
We don't know her.
That's kind of catchy, isn't it?
We don't know them.
But you kind of want it to happen. So for you and for charity, it'd be a good thing.
I guess.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for WGXA News at 5:30. We invite you to join us at 6 on ABC 16.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.